Twitch Iceberg explained.
Hey there, I'm Karma, and today I present to you the Twitch Iceberg. I couldn't have done this without the help of Ngaku, Nim, and Coaster. Thank you for the help, boys. We have 7 levels to go over, so if some topics aren't heavily covered, again, I apologize. I'll link sources for events and people who I feel like I can't do justice to. Anyways, let's get started.
Level 1.
Let's check out the Smiler level. I originally didn't have this tier until I realized the major gap between these and the Norman level in terms of coverage. For example, PogChamp getting removed was the biggest news Twitch has ever gotten. Getting articles written about it on CNN and USA Today, this is for the most part the only global event that Twitch has had. But for the unaware, PogChamp was removed because the face of the emote Gutex made questionable remarks about the US Capitol rioting, in turn causing Twitch to fully remove the emote, and quite recently replacing with Komodo hype, after cycling different faces for around a month or so. Dream SMP. Dream SMP and the resurgence of Minecraft is extremely high on this iceberg for a good reason. During the process of creating this, I had my little brother and other people help gauge the tiers, and every time, every single person knew about Dream and his involvement with making Minecraft extremely popular again. If you're thinking these topics are extremely common knowledge, that's the point. Some of these beginning events really aren't anything too special. Pokemon Go and the start of IRL streaming is what I would say would be the first Norman invasion in quotes. Before Minecraft and before Fortnite, we had Pokemon Go. That summer of 2016 was insane. Streamers getting into all sorts of trouble. In some instances, streamers got jumped and robbed. Summit was swatted while playing. It was a crazy time for Twitch, with all these streamers revealing their locations for those degenerates to find them and get them swatted. IRL streaming started around this time too, with Pokemon Go and IRL streaming really just going hand in hand, as it was the push it needed for this section to finally become popular. Streamers like Jake and Bake, who showed off what Japan's street life was like, thrived during IRL. IRL would see an extreme decline after another incident lower down on this iceberg. Of course, the just chatting section is on here for how big a meme this place has been for years and years. All the streamers poking fun at the ratio between boy and girl streamers and that kind of stuff. Shameless, man. Shameless. Alinity and Pokimane I'll group together, as they're up here solely because of their controversies being covered by those leafy clone channels. With Alinity and the whole cat situation and saying gamer words on stream, you'll find countless videos covering Alinity. And then, of course, the whole Pokemon and Leafy saga that happened in 2020. Him saying that she had a boyfriend, and I'll never forget that this commentary channel made a video about Poke, and they seriously thought Destiny leaked Pokemon and Toast being together.
It's already leaked? Have they gone public with that?
Okay.
That's all I shit, dude.
Now I'm not gonna lie here, folks. When you look at that clip, it almost looks intentional. I mean, the way he smiles, like his body language kind of during that whole thing, I think maybe he did this on purpose.
Commentary channels injecting themselves into Twitch drama without having any concept of who any of these streamers are, besides the top 1% of streamers, will always be hilarious to me. Ninja's popularity, or his rise to literal superstar status, he rode the Fortnite wave so smartly, and in turn, caused everyone and their mother to know who he was, inspiring every 90 cranking 12-year-old that they could be making millions by just no-cam streaming on their PlayStation 4. He really forged a different mindset in the younger Twitch viewers, with those kids streaming solely for donations and subs.
Level 2.
Onto the Whatface or Norman level. Here, you'll see your average Twitch viewer. They just started watching in 2019 to 2020. Thinking about it now, it's just really crazy to think how much Twitch as a platform has grown. If I were to make this list in 2017, half of the stuff on level 3 and 4 would be knocked up to 2 and 1. But the influx of users has made this list very, very different. Dr. Disrespect's ban. Of course, first on a level, we have Dr. Disrespect getting banned. Still, to this day, there hasn't been a definitive reason as to why he just sort of was just erased off of Twitch in a matter of hours. His eerie last stream is very unsettling to watch, with it abruptly ending and then his account being banned the following day. He seems to be doing fine though on YouTube. Maybe one day we'll find out what the doc did for such an extreme ban. Ninja and Shroud moving to Mixer. Ninja and Shroud moving to Mixer was very out of the blue, especially Shroud's. But this was the first time streamers were bought over to stream on separate platforms. Sure, streamers have contracts for platforms that they were already streaming on, but this was almost like sports, when teams were drafting players and just throwing millions at these streamers to stream on their site. Luckily for Ninja and Shroud though, Mixer would fully shut down and they would get to move back to Twitch, keeping their millions. Ninja versus Twitch. Ninja versus Twitch was a little incident that happened during all of that. When Ninja left Twitch, they unverified his account and started recommending different Twitch streamers to watch on his page. And somehow, someway,
Fortnite Iceberg
stream was the first stream that was recommended. And when Ninja found out, he wasn't quite happy, leading to this Twitter video.
There was a
account that was #1 being recommended on my channel. And I have no say in any of this stuff. So this is like this is the line, this is the straw. We're trying to get the whole channel taken down to begin with.
The purple screen of death. The most recent event on this tier is the purple screen of death, Twitch's new way to deter people from using any sort of ad blockers, but in turn caused internal issues with tournament websites and whatnot. And even if you disable your ad blocker completely, it will still pop up. The only workaround is to fully uninstall your ad blockers and install Twitch Adblock as an extension. Adblock said on Twitter that they're working on a fix, so hopefully this whole mess can be over with sooner than later. Twitch DMCA mess. DMCA jokes on Twitch have been a thing for a little bit now, but they really only picked up in 2020 when DMCA takedowns became actually serious. Rumors of streamers being banned live for playing music on stream that wasn't copyright free, streamers having to create DMCA free playlists. This ding-dong US senator actually wanted to make it a felony for playing copyrighted music on stream. And a buddy of mine, Masayoshi, was given a strike for playing clown music, and Twitch flagged the song as a Lil Uzi song. Twitch themselves were even caught having to mute a song and play no copyright music over the background so they wouldn't get banned. And this all happened live.
Yeah, but that's actually this is why it's so
FFZ
stupid.
and BTTV.
That's actually Metallica.
Franker's Face Z and
That's
Better TTV
actually Metallica.
are here because as a Twitch viewer, at this
Right.
point, I feel like you should somewhat be knowledgeable of the extensions, even if you only have the 6 slots that Better TTV gives you. Emote culture has become much more popular than it was a few years ago. I've met chatters who use emotes like they've been chatting for years and years, but they only recently found out about Twitch in 2018 or even later. Fedmeister. The first weird controversy on this Iceberg, Fedmeister, with him being kicked from offline TV for just being so creepy and weird off stream and at night with the girl streamers in the house who live there, telling people him and Pokey were dating and whatnot, just some extremely odd things. Then he accidentally leaked texts and logs between him and Pokey with defense and counterpoints that Destiny actually read all on stream. But since then, we haven't heard much from Fed. LSF, Livestream Fails, the infamous subreddit that circle jerks the same group of streamers. The idea of the subreddit itself is awesome, just sharing popular streamer clips and just random fails or whatnot, but this subreddit can get extremely toxic and flat out ridiculous at times, from relentlessly digging into streamers like Alinity day in and day out, and it literally took a streamer to pass away for people to take a step back and reevaluate the purpose of this subreddit. When LSF is normal, it's quite an enjoyable subreddit to browse. It's just unfortunate all it takes is one drama clip to light the fire under all these users, turning this subreddit into an absolute shit show.
Level 3.
Here at level 3, we're looking at the average Twitch watcher. They probably came in late 2017-ish and just casually browse LSF and Twitch. They've heard names and such from level 4, but really haven't looked into it. Dr. Disrespect's apology and TwitchCon incident. It's quite interesting that I was able to place this all the way down at level 3. But again, Twitch is so different from what it was a few years back. If you don't know what happened, Dr. Disrespect got in a little entanglement and had to apologize live to his whole audience in 2017. He then rebranded and changed from the Slick Daddy Club to the Champions Club following his return stream in early 2018. Since then, the doc has been a consistent Twitch meme, with the Forsen community creating Forsen CD being the go-to emote for whenever someone is alluding to or are blatantly cheating at something. Doc has played into the joke a few times, asking Shroud what it means.
Mine's just D. Shroud D.
But what do the other ones stand for?
And poking fun at chatters.
I did the emote.
All in all, it's just harmless fun. Hopefully Doc doesn't take it too personal. Minor note, Doc would also be temporarily banned in 2019 due to filming inside a public restroom at E3. This would also instantly be clipped and emotes were created as well. Albert. Staying on topic of entanglements, next we have Albert, who in 2019 was exposed to be having inappropriate relations with a fellow streamer while he was already dating Lily Pichu. How did they find out, you ask? The streamer who he was talking to, Avocado Peeled, leaked their DMs on stream. No, not through texts, not even through Twitter DMs, but they were communicating through Google Docs. This unfortunate series of events all unfolded while Offline TV was doing their big Japan IRL trip, where they all went to explore Japan and share it with the viewers. This news would break mid-trip, and Albert would eventually leave back to the States and go on an indefinite break from Twitch. Toast with the 500 IQ maneuver spotted it from the beginning.
Albert wins overall.
And sometimes he brings people that like shouldn't really be here.
Albert has since returned to streaming in October of 2020, but that whole mess was so crazy to watch unfold live. The Deer. The Deer is another recent event When Twitch announced their safety council, one member on the board seemed to take it a little too far. Ferociously Steph. She sort of had a little power trip in the streams following the announcement of her involvement with the Twitch Safety Council.
Who's Albert?
not going
He was
anywhere.
Lily
I
Pichu's
have power.
ex-boyfriend.
They can't take it away from me.
There's also
He
a
cheated
section
on
of
her.
her stream where she
It was very
explained
big.
that she identified as a deerkin, spawning a slew of new memes on top of the already recent ones of her power trip. The situation really fizzled into nothingness. She's still on the safety council and not much has been talked about since then. I'm quite sure a lot of people forgot about this event completely. Twitch plays Pokemon. Twitch plays Pokemon. is
Yeah.
a story of evil, victory and defeat. A
Twitch
whole
plays
entire
Pokemon.
story and universe was created from this Twitch stream. You could probably make a whole iceberg just on Twitch plays Pokemon alone. The complete history of Twitch plays
Yep.
Pokemon by Schwam Games really dives deep and accounts for each day. But in 2014, the account went live and allowed users to play Pokemon Red through chat just by typing up, down, A, and B to move the character all around. It got extremely hectic and highlighted how hive-minded and chaotic Twitch chatters actually are. One moment that caught my attention was when it took them a whole 13 hours to cross a portion of the map because there was a ledge running along the whole bottom part of the path. And chatters would just make the character jump over, causing everyone to have to restart. Then the person behind the account introduced Anarchy and Democracy mode. Anarchy mode was just how the stream normally ran, with all the inputs in chat being accounted for. And Democracy mode, having chat place a vote on set inputs, and the war between Anarchy and Democracy players began. Getting the characters stuck in the spinning maze area for hours on end, and then when they finally
Yeah, it's
completed
pretty
it,
sick.
chat voted for Anarchy mode and threw themselves back into the maze. You really had to be there to experience it in its prime. It was really a once-in-a-lifetime event for Twitch, and I'm sure everyone who was a part of it will remember it for a very long time. Twitch music. Twitch music is a staple
Twitch
for
music
anyone
is
who
the
really wants to get the
greatest
true Twitch.television
thing ever.
experience. From old Hearthstone streamer Cancer
It's
Music
just so
like
good.
Alex the Seal or Radio Kappa by Nim. There are so many different communities who all create music for their streamers for chat to enjoy, like Coaster, Sortyway, and Howay, who create hilarious Twitch songs
Coaster
for
and
viewers to
Sortyway
enjoy.
are the fucking
or Ngaku and
best,
Constera,
dude.
who make beautiful music
Constera
videos
is
and
terrible.
visuals. Twitch music has
Constera,
evolved so much since its conception,
Coaster,
and the fact that it's still
and
alive
Sortyway.
and kicking
Those
today
are
is
top
a
three.
great sight to see. The only genre of Twitch-related music that has seen an unfortunate
Spotify
decline
playlist.
is
True.
gacha-related songs. Maybe one day we'll see a resurgence. Billy Harrington and Van Sama. Billy Harrington and Van Sama are the faces of gachi and gachi songs, with Van actually streaming on Twitch and being extremely accepting to his status as a Twitch meme. Billy Harrington was also very accepting of the Twitch community, but unfortunately, he would pass away in 2018 due to a fatal car accident. Tryhard7 Entertainment has a great informative video documenting Billy's rise to stardom in the adult film industry and then on Twitch. Billy's face is behind some of the most used Twitch emotes on the platform, and it's a big part of Twitch history as a whole. Alt accounts. I'll keep this one brief so I don't leak anything, because I ain't no snitch. But just know that your favorite streamer most likely has an alt account that they stream on. They're always more laid back, and the streams are super chill compared from their main ones. For Connor. On February 21st, 2021,
that was
logs
literally
leaked
this year.
from streamer For
Yep,
Connor, who's
that was this
affiliated
year.
with Mizkif
This was
and that
big.
whole crew. As he stayed in Mizkif's streamer house, the logs were extremely racist and homophobic,
Oh, it was
prompting
bad.
Mizkif
It
to remove Connor
was
from the house
terrible.
that same
It was
day the logs were
disgusting.
leaked. In a last-ditch effort,
It made me sick
Connor
to my
went live to
stomach.
apologize and tell his viewers that's not the person he is. But the log said otherwise, with some only being from late 2020. Not much has come from this, with Connor yet to make a return. It might be quite a while before we hear something, but this is just a case of someone being a weirdo and people let it slide for way too long until there was definitely some beef and someone anonymously unloaded all these logs to expose him. Viewbotting. Viewbotting is a term that you don't really hear that often anymore. It was extremely popular back in the early days of Twitch, so streamers could get that extra boost of discovery. My favorite incident of viewbotting, and I'm sure a lot of people forgot about this, but Ricegum was actually caught viewbotting back in
that's okay.
2014. And it's just a funny clip of him realizing he leaked the dashboard. Then he commented on the video that exposed him a year later with this corny little response. Another very popular case was the one of Hassan. Detective Reckful was on the case and exposed Hassan live for viewbotting by comparing their revenue share for the month of October. And with Hassan having around triple of Reckful's viewers, his revenue should be exponentially higher. Well, when it came to it, Reckful and Hassan ended up having around the exact same revenue for the month of October, coming around to about 2.5 to 2.6k for that month. While Reckful was around a 5k channel, and Hassan was peaking and averaging around 15k plus on some streams. This practice has died out besides legal view bots, which Devin Nash, our CEO Andy, explained as these bigger streamers have access to these popular websites like wikis to the games that they stream or whatnot, and their stream is embedded into a 1 pixel area at 1% volume, and they get people who have no clue they are watching their stream because they're just browsing a website for other reasons. And these big streamers swap in and out like shifts for their little legal view bot. Soda started the Among Us formula. Believe it or not, this sex doll having millionaire is the go-to for new Twitch metas, and this was all but the same. In July 2020, Soda booted up Among Us, and the rest is history. He was taught how to play by friend and Twitch staff Pluto, and they ran practice games for 5 hours, teaching streamers like Poke, Hassan, XQC, and the likes. This was the definitive start to the Among Us meta. Thanks, Soda.
Level 4.
Let's start with the only non-controversial item on the list, Everland. Everland is a huge open-world MMORPG that was created by Reckful. It had full emote integration, and the in-game chat was meant to be a hangout space for every Twitch community, featuring different structures and monuments in the likeness of other streamers. Unfortunately, following Reckful's passing, there haven't been any updates on whether the game will get a full release. Let's hope that someday we'll get a release and enjoy the world he created for the chatters and streamers to enjoy. Sweet Anita's stalker situation is one that is really concerning and highlights how twisted some viewers can actually get. This stalker would stand outside of her house, peek through her mailbox, and follow her in several places in public to the point where she had to get strangers to restrain the stalker in public. She received many death threats from this stalker with extremely unsettling and graphic messages. The good news about all of this is that around mid-2020, Anita's stalker was arrested after months and months of being an absolute creep. Stalker situations are always so unnerving. The thought of someone watching your every move with you having zero idea is really rattling to me.
Thanks for stopping by.
Cherries got exposed by XQC in June of 2020 when a few clips of him surfaced explaining that some of the top streamers get paid to run charity streams. Dr. Lupo wasn't too happy to see this all happen, but after a quick exchange on Twitter, their issue was resolved. The problem occurred when Jessica Blevins, Ninja's wife, inserted herself in the thread out of nowhere. This started a back and forth Twitter thread that was hilarious to watch unfold. Jabs from XQC calling her Gucci bag Blevins, and Ninja himself even getting involved. This all happened extremely early in the morning, at least in North America, so it was ridiculous to wake up and see Twitter losing their shit over all of this. TrainwrecksTV even made his own separate tweet explaining how he was approached by some companies about a sponsored charity stream. His response was calling it ratty and shameless in the true Trainwrecks fashion. Keeping on the topic of money, let's go into Phantom Lord and that scuffed-ass $10 headset he had throughout his streaming career. Phantom Lord blew up during the CSGO gambling craze by doing the most insane bets or dropping thousands on gambling pots, getting huge returns. Come to find out that this scumbag was the owner of CSGO Shuffle, the website that he'd gambled on, and not only that, he would be playing with house money. He would DM the developer of the site and ask for win percentages so he can make it out big for the stream. Phantom Lord was exposed in 2016 by Richard Lewis, who made an 18-minute video highlighting all of the incriminating logs between Phantom Lord and other CSGO gambling website owners and developers. The cherry on top was when Phantom Lord was permabanned from Twitch. He didn't take it with his head down and start his 9-to-5 at McDonald's, nah. The dude decided to file a whole-ass lawsuit against Twitch, saying they breached his contract when they banned him. The lawsuit situation appeared in October of 2020, so we are still waiting to see what happens to our scamming buddy Phantom Lord. Let's stay on the topic of CSGO for a second to highlight one of the funniest moments a streamer was caught cheating live. I actually had to go back and watch the clip again to remember her name because everyone just says Clara anytime this clip is mentioned. But streamer Miss Q Gemini was playing a competitive game in CSGO when all of a sudden she leaked a menu of the hacked client she was using. At the time, she was using her client to perform walling, and when she realized that she'd leaked it, she asked her chat if they got the bug where they can see people's ranks and the enemy team through walls. Just watch the clip.
Do you guys ever get that weird glitch in CSGO where it shows your rank, that it shows everyone's rank? Because my game, I played the other day.
After realizing she was screwed, her last resort was to play dumb and lose it on her friend Clara, who she accused of installing the client on her PC. She exits the game and just repeats Clara over and over and over again. This clip blew up in the CS community with all the top streamers watching and giving their input to it. And now it's time to get into the edgy stuff. Let's start off by covering the CX Network, a large collective of streamers and leeches all under the infamous streamer Paul Danino. otherwise known as Ice Poseidon. The idea of having a collective of streamers works out great if you moderate what your members are doing on stream, but for the CX network, half of their streams were doing otherworldly shit and tiptoeing the line of terms of service on Twitch and YouTube. Creating streams like UFCX where they just fought each other in some dude's backyard, or doing their scuffed Stanford prison experiment stream, totally disregarding the mental health of their contestants. There's also the character of Hampton Brandon, who appeared on Ice's streams either to cause drama, or in some cases fight people or Ice himself. The most memorable clip of Hampton Brandon was when he was starting shit with someone on a sidewalk in LA, but decided to chicken out and run into the street, which caused him to get hit by an oncoming car driving by. The downfall of CX began when Ice was swatted and the FBI showed up to his streamer house and confiscated every PC and all of their streaming equipment. Ice then made a statement video that he would be distancing himself from the CX network and lifestyle for a bit, and his viewers were not too happy about that at all.
Oh my god, dude.
On the topic of CX, let's break down Andes. This originally spawned from Andy Milonakis appearing on Ice's stream, causing any stream sniper or person involved with Ice for the most part to be called an Andy or have Andy associated with their name. For example, Mexican Andy, Asian Andy, Burger Andy, otherwise known as Burger Planet, etc. The term Andy would then be evolved even further in Twitch speak by calling anything or anyone something does an Andy. The most popular term is React Andy, for when someone just reacts to videos the entire stream. But there are others very similar, like poking fun at a streamer's view count, calling them a 2K Andy. Wrapping up our Ice coverage, for this level at least, let's take a look at his final permanent ban from Twitch and what caused it. When he was doing a regular IRL stream, he made the mistake of leaking his airport gate / ticket to his audience live, saying, quote, "I'm not sure telling you guys that is a good idea, but what could you possibly do?" And of course, with his very considerate and wholesome community at the time, Ice was swatted on his own plane within the following hours. This caused massive news media coverage and a PR nightmare for Twitch. Paul Danino's account on Twitch would be permanently banned shortly after this incident. This would also be where you could mark the downfall of IRL streaming. The decline happened quite rapidly, and nowadays it's almost a rare sight for a streamer to do an IRL stream, especially in the last year due to coronavirus. On June 27th of 2020, Ice made an open letter to Twitch, explaining that he is very aware of the community that he had fostered on Twitch and asked for a second chance from the staff, explaining that he is a much different person now than he was back in early 2017, and to his credit, he has sincerely reformed on YouTube. No statement from Twitch has come from this video apology, and there seems to be no indication that there will be one. It seems that our boy Paul Danino may be sitting with Doc for a bit over on YouTube, unless we hear otherwise. Now onto the topic of swatting itself.
Well, I mean,
swatting is defined as...
in the beginning, dude, Ice was actually just doing anything and everything that just isn't safe to anyone. Yeah, it's nuts that my favorite streamer, Mizgift, that's how he got his start, was he filmed for Ice Poseidon. It was interesting.
As the action or practice,
but he pretty much just did the most dangerous shit. He did not care about anybody's health or anything. He's pretty much just a much more terrible version of Jackass.
Of making a prank call to emergency services in an attempt to bring about the dispatch of a large number of armed police officers to a particular address.
Yeah.
You would think that there would be a decline of swatting incidents following Ice.
You can go back and watch his streams. I think they're probably somewhere on YouTube or something. It's bad.
Poseidon's ban, as well as the multiple incidents in which people have died as a result. However, they still do unfortunately occur. The most recent incident of swatting at the time of this recording happened in February of 2021, involving Greek God X and Soda Poppin'.
Wait, when did this happen?
Both were streaming at the time and were pulled away.
What? I didn't see this. I didn't hear anything about this. This wasn't on LSF. Or maybe it was. I didn't hear anything about this. What? This is very recent. This is when I was playing Little Nightmares.
From their streams to deal with the unfortunate situation. Another known case of swatting was when XQC was mid-game in Overwatch, and you see him just throw his hands up in the air and leave the room. You can even catch his teammates beginning to worry after he's AFK for a little while. We also have a very recent swatting involving Tfue around December of 2020. The cops can be heard yelling and asking him to come out with his hands up.
Swatting's ridiculous.
And the last one we'll highlight is involving nothing.
It's so scary.
The CSGO pro, who was a part of Cloud9 for quite a while, was swatted mid-game as well, and the cops came into his room with guns drawn. All of these situations are completely messed up, and I'm glad to say that there's been an extreme decline in swattings occurring in the Twitch community. No one in the live streaming community
people
wants
are just
to
trolls,
see this happen.
and they do that.
It puts people at risk
Just
of being
fucking
seriously
swat
injured
people.
or even killed.
Happens
now,
all the time.
Allison Quinn is a name you probably haven't heard in a long time. But this guy was considered one of the funniest people to watch on Twitch around 2016, according to Surma. His whole act was ridiculous, giving himself insane haircuts or dancing like an absolute maniac on stream. Allison Quinn was a character that is a once-in-a-lifetime type of occurrence. Someone like Allison Quinn would not be able to thrive in the landscape of Twitch now due to his reliance on inappropriate donations and just being a breeding ground for toxic chatters. The streams themselves were no issue. It was just that Allison never really had an actual community. His clips would get a lot of attention, and then the next day a collective of many different communities showed up to mess with him.
I never heard about that.
Of course, it was always problematic chatters or people banned from other communities, so of course all of that negativity in one stream would not fly on Twitch nowadays. We haven't heard much from Allison Quinn, with his last upload being on March 9th, 2019, and it was a song he made called Musically Star.
On Musically, lip syncing beautifully. I skip school for this, so I'll probably get in trouble for truancy.
And that's all from me. I'll hand it back over to Surma.
Level 5.
Here at level 5, marked with the 5-head emote, these are some topics that maybe the average LSF browsing Twitch watcher is unaware of. Starting off, let's take a look at RS Glory and Gold. This whole story is just a prime example of a classic witch hunt. Back in 2016, there was an article released about a sex offender who slept with an underage girl whom he married in RuneScape. And RS Glory and Gold loosely resembled the dude in the article, and that was enough for grown adult Keemstar to have his 2 brain cells fire, and he made a drama alert full on ripping this old man apart. On top of that, there's clips of Keemstar in full denial after everyone realized he was so horribly wrong, asking his chatters how they know he was wrong. He watched the dude live break down and cry, and instead of instantly apologizing, his first thought was, after RS Glory and Gold said he was getting a social security check, was to call him poor, and then only after that, he began to apologize.
Get it soon.
I'm paying this dude $1,000.
See, I would have sat here for the next 10 years.
Dude, he's poor.
But not before Keemstar could flex that he is donating him a G. Instead of dealing with the situation in a private manner, which God knows Keemstar could never do, he made it public to attempt to deflect the shitstorm that was about to hit him. The US Army streaming. A more popular event
especially,
on this list,
well, back
thanks
in
to
the
Slasher,
day.
but
Back
the
in
US
the
Army
day,
was streaming
he
on
was
Twitch and being very
terrible.
sly with their tactics, using fake giveaways to point users who clicked on their buttons to be brought to the US Army recruitment page. Twitch actually stepped in and made them remove the giveaway buttons after they found out what they actually linked to. They were also full-on censoring and muting chatters who were asking them about US war crimes and just trolling in chat. The deception was just really weird, and the fact that they knew what they were doing is really unsettling. Using Twitch to recruit extremely young and impressionable children is not the best look.
Over 150 different career fields that you are able to enlist for right out of high school with very, very little experience.
JustinTV. The
Yeah,
fact that I put
it's fucked.
JustinTV
That's
so
our
low on
military
here
for
is
you.
crazy. But yes, JustinTV is what Twitch was originally. Founded by Justin Khan on March 9th, 2007. It was the website that actually Justin only streamed on solely for himself to document his daily life while being live. By the summer of that year, there were many more channels to watch, around 60 or so. And then by June 2011, they totally separated their gaming section to a new website, and that was how Twitch was born. In a short 3 years after, Twitch would be bought out by Amazon, and we would see the dissolvement of JustinTV in turn. I wonder if Justin realized what big impact he had on the internet as a whole. It just must be so surreal for him to think about it sometimes.
Imagine,
The Reckful Japan
JustinTV,
Stalker.
yeah.
The Reckful Japan Stalker moment was an
Oh
extremely
my
unsettling
God, I
turn of
remember
events
this.
caught live on stream. When Reckful was walking around
So
in Japan
bad.
at night, he noticed a very weird person just lurking at the end of a crosswalk, and even pointed it out to his chat.
Come on, guys.
Continuing to walk, he noticed the person was following him down the street and was actually gaining on him. So Reckful made a sharp 180 turn and made a joke that it would be so creepy if the dude turned around. And not even 5 seconds later, you see the guy fully turn around, and that was when Reckful decided to sprint out of this area. Turns out, it was just a very, very awkward viewer who didn't know how to introduce himself. It actually took Reckful running away for the dude to call him out, and then they finally met and introduced themselves. The Angel of Shibuya. The Angel of Shibuya is the story of
weird.
Josh DeCino, the face of Kappa,
links.
his journeys in Japan, and all the acts of
Yeah, I
kindness
guess
he
so.
did.
That's
While
weird.
in Japan, he would go live and frequently be caught helping people get out of bad situations, or helping lost kids find their parents. But more often than not, he would be seen helping all the drunk people who either passed out on the sidewalk or having trouble walking to get where they needed to go. The artifact section. The dumpster fire that transpired in the artifact section of Twitch will go down as the funniest turn of events in Twitch history. With Valve announcing their dead-on release game Artifact, the section on Twitch never even had any sort of viewership at all, until Nim was linked to the Artifact section and saw this. This was the beginning of the chaos that would ensue. At first, it was only people baiting Nim to click the streams, until more and more streamers and viewers found out about this. Then people were straight up just streaming movies and whole entire TV series, and also porn. It went so absolutely out of hand that when Twitch stepped in, they made it so you had to have two-factor authenticated accounts to stream on the section, but this didn't stop anyone at all. All this chaos ensued until the section was fully removed. In the end, Twitch attempted to sue about 100 people involved, but since that, nothing has really come from it, at least from what the general public is aware of. Bless RNG being removed. Bless RNG being removed is an event that I completely forgot about, but I'll keep it brief. The emote Bless RNG was permanently removed because the streamer behind the emote admitted to actually abusing his ex-girlfriend. He dropped a long response admitting and arguing that his ex-girlfriend was abusive as well. Just a whole fucked up situation. Hassan. When talking about Hassan, I am not talking about the bean-sized head streamer. This Hassan was Twitch staff. And if you're even on Twitch for a little bit back in the day, you remember all the memes about this dude, as he was in charge of giving out partnerships to streamers. All the girl streamers would send him nudes and whatnot, and of course the screenshot of his following list that showed his whole list was just filled with a bunch of low viewer count girl streamers that he most likely preyed on in hindsight. And if you talk back to him about it, you would get banned, and people deemed it the Hassan chop. But it actually turns out that the memes were all true, and multiple women came forward talking about their experience with Hassan and how very weird he was. He was then fired from Twitch, and we haven't heard much from Hassan in quite a while.
Level 6.
Down at level 6, we have forgotten controversies, or events that many people are not aware of whatsoever. Zilean OP. Starting off, let's talk about Zilean OP, the streamer who allegedly faked being wheelchair bound. This happened in 2013, and the famous clip of him getting out of his wheelchair and walking away sparked major talk in the Twitch community, saying he faked all this for donations and money, and that he was deceiving his fans. With no update, Zilean went ghost for years and years, until April 2020, when a new account, It's Bluish, appeared on Twitch, and a user posted it to LSF, and almost instantly the account was taken down for ban evasion. Fast forward to now, there was a great video by Wavy Web Surf, where they actually got in contact and interviewed Zilean, and it turns out he wasn't wheelchair bound for life, and it was only due to an injury from a car accident. And we see Zilean admit the route he took for everything was so very irresponsible. Zilean called it cancel culture before cancel culture was a thing in the interview. I highly recommend you check it out as it sheds light on his whole situation. Global emote origins. Global emote origins are something that really no one has much of a clue about, besides the big ones like Trihex being Tryhard, and of course Gutex being the former Pog champ and whatnot. But what about global emotes like People's Champ, which features Smash player Bobby Scar? It seems as if most of these global emotes are Twitch staff who threw a little nod to themselves in the chat room. But one curious case is the one of Brain Slug, which was originally streamer Buena's face, but it was swapped to this alien. This was, I believe, the first case of an emote getting the axe for being controversial, but it wasn't actually Twitch's doing. It was the face behind the emote himself, Buena, and the emote had been victim to racist chatters overtaking it and spamming it everywhere. He decided to fully remove his face from the emote, which is 100% understandable. The long history of Twitch global emotes is massive. If you just Google any global emote, you'll be brought on a whole entire journey from article to article, learning about why this person has the emote on Twitch. If you're bored, I highly recommend you browse them one day. I Buy Power Throw. The I Buy Power Throw was, at the time, one of the biggest scandals in gaming history. Back in 2014, what happened was, I Buy Power was playing against netcode guides, and you could also bet on the game on this website called CSGO Lounge. The odds of I Buy Power winning were so high that if netcode guides won the game, the return would be over tenfold. So what the players of I Buy Power did was dump thousands of dollars worth of skins into the website to bet against themselves to lose, and then they threw their game against netcode guides. And they actually sort of kind of got away with it if it weren't for their constant denial if anyone accused them of throwing. This, in turn, striked an investigation and got 4 out of the 5 players from I Buy Power banned for good. Nowadays, a lot of them play Valorant, so I suppose they're doing good for themselves. That incident was one of the first match-fixing events caught live on Twitch. Now, for Ancestors, the Humankind Odyssey. The shit show that ensued when this game was being streamed by big streamers was absolutely disgusting. In-game, you played as a monkey some odd million years ago, but instead of just being a normal chat, The chat began to spam "come on bruh" and "hyper bruh" in response to the streamer playing the game. I remember vividly, this was when Soda removed the emote from his chat room permanently, and XQC disabled it for the stream because chat was being so extremely racist. Just a classic example of edgy Twitch chat going too far, as they always end up doing.
Level 7.
The last 3 down here on level 7 are something else. Each of them hitting different corners of why streaming can get really bad really fast. IP2. Let's start out with Ice Poseidon 2. After Ice Poseidon subreddit was Purge, this second sister subreddit was started by his viewers, and I'm not even going to call them fans because these were some of the people who were involved with his swattings. But this subreddit was just a cesspool of racism, toxicity, and just the worst of the worst on Twitch. It would eventually be shut down permanently, and when I try to access it on Wayback Machine,
never either.
it won't even let me view the archive, saying this subreddit is quarantined and to enter at your own risk. But after clicking view, the page just infinitely loads. Maybe it's for the best. Athene. Athene was roundabout the first shit poster on Twitch and YouTube, from making YouTube videos exclaiming he was the best WoW player and just making general comedy videos. A very normal YouTuber, given the circumstances. It all started going downhill when he migrated to different games and was hitting the top rank in all of those games, such as League and StarCraft. Many suspect he was buying account boosts from skilled players. He would then actually get an in-game item in League after a community challenge from Riot happened, and he got Athene's Holy Grail inside of League of Legends. After that, there was a huge controversy involving him with his charity streams, as many people assumed he was stealing money from his charity pool behind the scenes. And it just gets better, honestly. After that, Athene went out and purchased a large building and wanted viewers to come live with him. Viewers and streamers got very cult-like vibes from these actions. And then, in 2017, the dude made a whole cryptocurrency and attempted to scam his viewers into buying it. After he got caught, he told his viewers that, of course it was a scam, and that was how his whole character was, and it was a part of the show. Now, apparently since then, in 2020, he's making a mobile app that has to do with streamers of some sort. I can't really do justice on this topic as I would like to, because of just how absolutely insane the whole string of events were. But there's a documentary video by People Make Games that is quite long, but it details everything that happened since the beginning with Athene. The Creature. And now, time for the creature.
The creature.
Soda Poppin's horribly obsessive fan that wanted to move in and live with him.
Yep.
It started when one day Soda got a knock at the door, and this kid explained he drove 17 hours to meet him, and they let him in for the day. After they went out to eat, they let the creature spend the night, as driving in the dead of night for 17 hours obviously is not the best idea. But the problem occurred when the kid never left. The next morning he was still there and seemed to just be living at Soda's house. It got even weirder when he tried to force Soda to take his ADHD pills and smoke weed with him. The creature told Soda he sort of had to force him to take these drugs, and everything just went south from there. The kid started plugging his whole setup into the house, and it took Soda's friend Sam to fully kick the creature out. But before he could leave, the creature told Soda he left something for him. So NMP and Nexius had to scour the house in search of what he left. Turns out it was just pills and weed, but it got even weirder when 3 VODs were uploaded from the creature's old Twitch account. And in the 3rd video, he was showing off all the footage he took inside their house. Just walking up and down the stairs, going into rooms, and filming. Absolutely creepo shit. This whole story is just a prime example of how bad a parasocial relationship can really get.
Not.
And with that, this concludes the Twitch Iceberg.
Absolutely not.
I would love to continue updating the list, so please comment down below if there's anything that needs to be added.
The Twitch Iceberg, I like it.
Thank Ngaku, Nim, and Kosta
Everything's
for
there.
helping with
Makes
the
sense.
list. And of course, for Rora for voicing level 4. I hope you all enjoy, and I hope you all stay safe. Thanks for watching.